Hi everyone, Mary at Espresso Press Design. Thank you for joining me. Happy Easter Tuesday, April 2nd, 2024. Hope you're all doing well. We're into April. Yippee! Spring can't be far away now. Although we are having a drenching rain today and for the next probably until the end of the week and maybe even snow. Which I guess that's not out of the question for Pennsylvania. But it won't stick. It's only a matter of time. So, as usual, thank yous and my deeply appreciated, to my deeply appreciated customers and commenters and visitors, and I thank you very much. Diane, Love It Designs, love that name. Vivi, Mandy, and Ginger Chick. And thank you, Dorothy, so much for your nice Easter comments on my cake. It was delicious. And Bev, I have been meaning to say I hope you had a lovely time on your cruise, and I kept forgetting. And then Mary of Scotland, it's nice to have you. Thank you so much for your support. And I have a little Scotland story for you. Not much of a Scotland story because I haven't actually visited, but it's from my mother-in-law, and I always remembered it. So I'll get to that in a second, but this was in my Easter basket. My husband gives me the quirkiest things, and this is so cute. When I was a kid, Bazooka was my favorite bubble gum, and apparently this is a 75th anniversary, and they even have the Bazooka Joe comics in it, which I don't know if they have anymore because I switched to Double Bubble because Bazooka doesn't exactly have the original flavor, whereas Double Bubble kind of does. But that was my favorite as a kid, and I remember we always got a quarter every week to go to the candy store. And I'm telling my age, but I would get 10 Red Hots, a Coke, and 5 Bazooka bubble gums for my quarter. And if I really wanted to make a tough decision, I think I could get maybe a Snickers and a Coke, but I can't remember. If I got a Snickers, maybe I couldn't get the Coke. So I always had my quarter allowance planned out to where I could get the most amount of candy for 25 cents. So that was my weekly splurge was 10 Red Hots, because you got them 2 for a penny, a Coke for 15 cents, and 5 Bazooka bubble gums for a penny. So anyway, that's your trip down memory lane today, but that is so cute. I'm definitely gonna make something with that, and I'm keeping it. So this week's products: April showers, spring May flowers, but the flowers are early. So this week is all about flowers. I have these lovely lilacs that seem to be popular. I have pansies. I love pansies, and these are absolutely gorgeous. And then I also have poppies. So that's the products for the week. And today we are going to make tabs. Now these were inspired by Louise Heinzel, and they've been on my bucket list, and I thought we'd take a break from the 12 by 12 series. I don't want anyone to get bored. So I made some tabs. Let me bring these up a little so that you can see them. And they can be any size. And I don't really do mine like she did, but hers were more like file folder tabs, and she made hers with an envelope punch board, but she did have instructions if you want to, if you don't have an envelope punch board. So that was the inspiration. And these really aren't attached. Some of them are just glue dotted for your sake, so I could show you what they would end up like. But I am going to keep these as little ephemera, and then as needed, that one has a little glue dot, as needed I will attach them to my pages or whatever. I didn't put any rivets or anything on them, but I'm just going to say up front, you might want to reinforce yours a little stronger than mine if you intend to do that. So what you'll need, this began for me because of these strips that I have here in my basket, and this clip is kind of driving me crazy, so it began with these strips. I'm pretty sure they're cut-offs from making envelopes, and I just backed mine on a book page for your sake to go faster. But the tabs can be any size. You'll see here I had one, I just grabbed a piece of paper and made a tab. They could be a little tiny piece of paper like this. That could be a tab. So what you'll need are just your scraps. I have itty bitty scraps. I have color coordinated scraps. I have labels. I have more labels. I have little tiny stamps in here. And we are just going to have some little fun time playing today. And you'll need glue and whatever punches you want. As you can see, all these tabs have a different edge. Get a piece of white paper here. They all have a different edge because I made them with my corner punches. But you can also use a corner rounder. This one was done with a corner rounder. And you can also just clip your corners like a tag shape. So everyone can do this. And then I just want to show you here, this is from last week, and this is the little undecorated book. And I decorated it a little bit, and then I made some tabs in this book. Since this one had to be decorated, I thought I would just go ahead and do a couple to show you. Now this one isn't exactly a tab because I made it close to the page, close to the edge, because I had that already cut. So technically that's not a tab, but that's just an idea of how we can decorate them. And that needed decorated anyway, so I decided just to get that accomplished. So, okay, very simple. We're just going to fold in half. And as she said, even your fold doesn't have to be perfect because you won't see one side from the other. And then we can cut these any length. I would recommend at least, let me see, these are 1.5 inches, but I would recommend at least 1.5 inches, 2 inches, so that these end up being 3/4 of an inch. Yes. So we're just going to fold, and then I will measure and cut how long I want each tab to be. So I hope everyone had a nice Easter. Ours was nice. And actually the day wasn't, I think it was a little cloudy, but it wasn't cold. So it was kind of just a nice spring day. Now I'm probably going to cut this one at 3, and then the other side will be 2. Because I don't want them too short, but I don't want them all the same either. So let me just see what we have here. Some of them I'm just going to cut in half. I think this is a little too thin to leave so long. I prefer it to be a little wider if it was long, so I'm just going to go randomly. Let's try 3 1/4. Strips were 5 1/4 by, what did I say? 5 1/4 by 1.5. That needs a little glue already. Finally got my new glue, which I'm still on Craft Bond. Although I did see that the price of Uhu on Amazon isn't too bad, so I don't think Scotch Create is coming back. Or at least not less than $8 a stick. I'm not spending $8 for a stick of glue when it used to be 4 for $8. It was actually, I think it was even cheaper than that. And if I had known they were going to stop, I would have ordered 2 or 3 boxes. Okay, those are nice and burnished. Let's get some edges on here. So Here's one. Let's do a tiny edge on here. And I guess we'll see what a large one looks like. That'll still work. So to me, a tab is just anything that goes off a page. So I like this one in particular. I don't know which way you can see that best. I like that one in particular. Wait, let me put all those up there. Try to remember to do a couple with the corner rounder. But I would, again, I would strongly recommend these little punches. You see how much I use these. And then I even do some with my little ticket corner. I don't think I've ever done one using this corner, so let's see what that might look like. Well, that's kind of fancy. Here's that one. Okay, corner rounder. I'm just going to use the smallest one, which is ½ inch. And you kind of just have to line it up because it's not going to go in there as if it was a piece of paper. So you kind of just have to eye it up. And there's your typical corner rounder. So that will work just as well. And this one, I'm going to do my favorite. Okay, now the fun part. So, the one thing to keep in mind that you can go off the edge even of that tab and make another little tab, especially if you wanted to dangle something off there with a rivet or a hole. That would be a cute way to do it, and you might want to reinforce that. Even though it will still be doubled, you still might want to make sure you do that with heavier paper for strength. So there's really no rhyme or reason to this. I'm just going to grab some stuff and start decorating. Let's see if I have anything that might look cute. And then you can go either way. You can go vertical and you can go horizontal. So just start wrapping like this one went vertical and horizontal. So just start wrapping and decorating. Make sure I'm in here. I would bring this camera a little closer, but when I do, it starts, because of the lines on that glass mat, it starts, and the movement of my hands, it starts refocusing. If you ever wonder why I don't. So that's a little leaf. Let me see. Get some little stamps here and see if I can wrap around. Oh, there's a little butterfly. Now these are tiny. So I'm just going to wrap that around the back. Don't forget the back a little bit because you're going to see both sides when you turn the page. And I'm just using glue even though I don't have to. Okay, so remember your numbers. Oh, there's a little something. Tim holds something, a tiny, tiny number. That might be too small. Right, over here I have some numbers. Just cut that off. And I'm going to go in 3s or 5s. If I have a large tab, I might try 7 or 9 elements. But I'm going to try at least to get 3 on here. Okay. So, my Scotland story, it's not really much of a story. It's just something I always remember. Let me see if I think that stamp's too big, but I'm on the back now, so let's just do the back. Scotland, mostly it's about an urban legend, and my mother-in-law from Italy said that Scotland was the most beautiful place she had ever seen. So it must really be something. I don't know if she was there at the time of, or if the heather is always blooming, or, but I've seen pictures of that. That is certainly breathtaking. But anyway, the urban legend that I thought was funny is my mom always used to say, no matter where you go, you're going to find someone from Punxsutawney, which is my little podunk town. So my husband's family went to Scotland on vacation, which actually I'm not quite sure how far away that is from Italy. And they went in this remote castle, and went to sign the guest book, and the person in front of them, the person before them in the guest book was from their hometown, and his mom used to say the same thing. No matter where you go, you're going to find someone from Treviglio. So I thought that was funny that halfway around the world, everyone still had the same legends. So that's my little Scotland story. That it must be quite beautiful to impress an Italian. And you don't know who you might find in a remote castle. Now that's too big now. Let me see if I start it there. And wrap it around there. And then I can glue it underneath. I'm just getting it on there. I'm trying not to think too much, because I at least want to get this little pile done. Maybe not in the entire video, but you know how I am. Oh geez, and I broke a nail. Oh, that looks deep too. I was doing so good. I might put some glue on that. I don't want that to come off. It's going to hurt. I don't know how I did that. I haven't been doing anything that would break a nail. Okay, let me put my new ones somewhere. Okay, if these are going to take up so much space. Maybe. Do I have any pre-cut? Probably grabbed the wrong. Probably grabbed the wrong box as far as labels. I mostly have stamps. Let me see if I have any that are already cut. There's some little dates. No, I grabbed the wrong box. Yeah, here's the box with my tabs already in there. Oh well, let me get some of these. That. Okay, what would look good with this? Probably that. I think I better go something like this again. It's too busy. That'll work. Dots and stripes. Why not? So, yeah, I thought this would be a nice little return to work. Oh, that'll look good. passengers, but I'll probably lose it. So, do I have another one? Well, that one I don't care if I lose, so it's big enough. Yesterday was my cat's birthday. He's 2. Okay, I'll put a little stamp, and that'll go around the back. And that'll be item number 2. And then I wanted to do one. See if I can get a little flower on there. And you know what? I'm going to bring that stamp out a little bit so that I can demonstrate that. And then I just need a little tiny something. There's a little blue flower. That'll work. I had a little pack of labels here clipped. Oh, here they are. I love my new little punches. They sure make life easier. Oh, I'm going to put that on there and not wrap that particular one around. So there's one where I went off the tab a little bit more so that you can remember how to do that. And there's my 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. That's just a little. 1, 2, 3. Put another little tiny stamp. I think those stamps are from Love Letters. And maybe I shrunk them when I printed them. Can't remember. But they're very tiny. Okay, there's 2. Where are we? 36 already. Are you kidding me? I am so slow, you guys. So let's just do one more because I don't want to take all of your time unless I can come up with something really interesting to say. Not much new. I don't know if I want flowers on there. I really wanted these fancy strips. I want to use at least one of those. And there's some little black words. That'll be perfect. These are from my origami paper. Maybe that'll be better on there. So let's do that on there. And let's it's probably going to be too small to even fit in there. It fits, but it doesn't want to cut. Okay. Just chop some corners off there. A little bit. Well, no, let's just shorten it. It's a little long. There we go. Or maybe I should just put it on the stripe. That's a little too busy. Yeah. Okay. Which side do I want? Well, probably that one. And thank you so much to those who have been favoriting my shop. That's about the only thing that is helping me outpace the algorithm. I don't advertise anymore. Oh boy, that's pretty. That has leaves and everything. I definitely want to get a flower on this one. I love that paper. That's why I save every little piece of it, because it's so decorative. Okay, that's calling for a flower out of something. Do I dare mix and match that? No, that's too much. You know what? Let's just keep the flower simple. Try that. Or the scallop. I should say scallop. Then I'm going to wrap that around. I sold my first item in Cherish Resale Boutique, which is on Shopify. And she found me through Google, so that that made me realize I didn't necessarily have to hide it. Or what, I don't know. I just didn't want everything to be disjointed. But in the end, it's still curation, and everything is still pretty much antique or vintage. That is going to be on that site, so I guess I'm just keeping it the way it is. That way, because my true goal is to not end up, is to have the luxury of time. That would be my real goal. And not have to maintain so many pages, sites, platforms. And maybe I could actually go back to doing something. Oh, I meant to put that on there. That's what I meant to put on there. So I think I'm going to. And maybe I can go back to having more time to actually design instead of keeping up with Etsy's poor management decisions constantly. Etsy's mismanagement decisions. And then, do I dare put that stamp on there? Then I'm going to lose my flower. No, you can't even see it. Okay, one. The front has 1, 2, 3, 4, and the back only has 2. That's okay. Okay, where are we? Can I get one more done in 2 minutes? Let's see. So that made me happy. I'm pretty sure she received her item by now, and I hope she was pleased with it. So I really wanted to put some of these on here too, but I didn't want to, I don't want to cut up a new piece of paper. So let's just stick with what we have here. Get some bold text on there. Let's see. Let's just stick with these. You could put half circles. That's another idea. I do have some circles here. You can stamp. You can put lace, of course. Little appliques, embroidery. That would be pretty. Buttons. These are nice. I was attracted to them because I'm not really a cluster fan. So I thought they were nice. I think I'm going to go with just a number over here. So yeah, I did put you know, a disclaimer on the info section in the top of my shop on Etsy and in my about that I am using AI. And then either knowingly or unknowingly somebody critiques. So it's like, who didn't see that coming? You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. And that's why it's distressing. Because it's a catch-22 situation. No matter how you look at it. I saw a poster designer who was pretty much quitting because he said, why bother? I can't compete. Can't compete with AI, and now I go on Etsy and all I see are AI posters. And his situation was even worse because I'm sure that's a more popular category. So, what can you do? Nothing. No use complaining. Gonna get another little tiny, even though I do have this little tiny Tim Holtz oval here. Those things have been begging to be used up for years. So anyway, he was quite discouraged and said, why bother? I mean, eventually it would be like if you are a, what's the word, farrier or a blacksmith after the automobile came in. You know, the first 10 years it probably decimated the skill, but then eventually 75 years later, if you have a horse and you need a black horseshoes, well, the scarcity of farriers and the skill required to be a blacksmith is probably more appreciated and more well paid. It's just the way it goes. There isn't much you can do about it. Okay, everyone. So let me get these on here. And hopefully I remembered every point I wanted to make. That one's backwards, of course. So let's go that way. And then there's the ones I made. And I guess I'll show you the back of that one too, because that wasn't seen. Okay, is that it? I think that's it. I won't bother grabbing my book. Okay, so there we go, you guys. This week, decorated page tabs. I hope you like them, and I hope you find this helpful. And if I can, I will try to speed up certain areas, but I'll do my best. This is way too long, but it's a fun little do-nothing project to use up a lot of scraps. I don't know what's coming next week. I'll decide that when I get to it. So have a great week, everyone. Thank you. Bye.